Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester. And I'm not just saying that as a way to open every single time. I'm saying it because it is just true, right? We really have to get to a point in our lives where we stop questioning whether we have a connection to the spirit, where we stop questioning whether we have a connection to the creator, whether we start questioning whether there is a God, whether there is something that is moving us and is non-tangible that actually expands and creates our lives, right? That makes these things possible. I guess what I'm discussing today is the idea of when you have gone through all the changes you possibly can as it relates to trying to solve something or trying to figure out something. Have you ever come in contact with something where the lack of understanding and the lack of being able to know what to do next was so great that it really just messed you up? Now, mind you, this bothers me. This bothers all of us. It is definitely a bothersome space to be in. But the truth of the matter is that when we are experiencing those times, that is when we're being stretched and we're growing the most. Have you ever been in a space where everything feels like it's off? You don't know what's off. You don't know what's not working. You can't really just say what you should take out of your life, or what you should add to your life, or what's bothering you, what's not bothering you. But all you know is that where you've been is no longer enough. And this is one of those things where we are challenged to be honest with ourselves. And it's not always a really specific thing. Oh, get rid of these people, then life will be better. Oh, just stop doing that and life will be better. Oh, pick up a hobby and life will be better. That's not it. Because you've had all that same old stuff and it was very beautiful and it was content. It was keeping you content to some degree. And then all of a sudden, something shifted. Then everything kind of looked a little bit different. Then everything was just not meeting the mark. Everything seemed like it was a little bit wrong or a little bit off. I wouldn't say wrong, a little bit tainted. And so what normally happens when we go through these periods and times like that, we try to apply our fixes to them. We try to apply the same fixes that we've used in the past, right? So, if I meditate, I'm going to start meditating more. If I go to yoga, I'm going to start going to yoga more. If I, get rid of all the people in my space, then that'll make me, we have these things that we do and we're just like, this isn't working. We start pulling these things out. But we notice when you're going through some of these shifts where everything seems off, something is telling you that subtracting is not going to be the answer this time. That your meditation or your uplifting music or walking or running, whatever it is, it's not going to really be the thing this time. And the only thing that's going to get you to the next place of being able to understand where you are, what's the next move you should make, and to put you back in the place where you're not feeling off, is going to be just to let it go. There's no fix sometimes. Sometimes the biggest fix is doing nothing. Because this is the most interesting thing. When you decide, I'm going to do nothing and I'm going to allow this to play out, or allow life to play out as it should, because I know I've banged my head against the wall. I know I've sat down and jotted down a million notes about how I feel and where I should go and what I should do. I know I've had times in my life where I just was like, these people aren't working for me. I got to let this go. I know I've done all that stuff already. You get to a place where you have no choice but to sit there and wait for the universe to deliver, to sit there and wait for God to deliver. And there has to be a deeper knowing inside of you that says, all of this is being worked out. And the reason why I can't force the answers, the reason why I can't force the conclusions, the reason why I can't force the next steps is because it's already worked out. What is supposed to happen is always happening at any given time, based on the seeds that have been planted and based on your true desires of your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit, and based on your surroundings. It's already been playing out. If it was a time for you to do action, if it was a time for you to move, you would be inclined to know exactly what that action is and exactly what that move is. But when you are not getting that information, don't go making up information. Just be still. Because in being still, you allow the universe to keep on playing out exactly what's supposed to unfold and happen in your life, right? You ever felt like you were supposed to be doing something, or you were supposed to have this, or you were supposed to have that, and something didn't just turn out exactly the way that you wanted it to be? And then a few weeks later, or a day later, or an hour later, you realize why that thing didn't work out. And it's like, oh wow, if that would have worked out, then this thing right here wouldn't have worked out. If I would have just made an impulsive move to do this or that, then I wouldn't have had the opportunity to create this or that with someone, right? When you allow that space of the unknown, when you allow that space of, I can't force this thing, I can't move this thing, I can't push this thing, I can't pull this thing, I can't rescue myself right now. When you allow that space, you can really see the universe at work. Because we just don't have access to all the information. You can really see the pieces of the puzzle being lined up from seeds that you have sowed, and it unfolding in the most beautiful and magnificent way, a way that you couldn't have even calculated in your small little human mind with your small little access to what's being given to you at any given time. And when you allow your life to play out like this, when you allow your circumstances and situations to play out like this, you soon find that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You get in those moments where you're just like, I was supposed to do this. I should be in this type of environment. I should be in this type of relationship. I should have this type of interactions with people. I should have this type of financial abundance. I should have this type of ability to travel. Whatever it is that you're saying, if you were supposed to be there, you would be there. If you were supposed to be with that person, you would be with them. If you were supposed to have those friends, you would have them. We're never missing out on anything. We're never being left behind. Because let me tell you, I've been having a real big, a real big energy, a cloud over me of a feeling of being left behind. And that is because I was placing my attention in the wrong place. Because when you allow something like feeling left behind to navigate your feelings or to navigate your moves or to make you jump, that negativity says jump and you say how high, you really don't get to see the beauty of what you're creating in your space, right? I remember years ago, I had friends, and I remember that we would always talk about traveling and doing things and all this sort of stuff. And when the time came for travel to happen, the conversations were being had and we were like, oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. This would be cool. And then one of the friends showed up one day and was just like, oh, I planned a trip, and it was not with me. And it didn't have anything to do with anything that we ever talked about. It was with another friend. And that was a real deep feeling of being left out or being left behind that I didn't know how to accept. And when I went through this feeling, and we're no longer friends in that sense, it's always going to hold a deep space in my heart and my space. But but I also feel like, I won't go in that, but in that time, I remember that deep feeling of feeling left out. I was like, no one even asked me. No one even said, would you like to? And I remember the feeling that I had deep down inside, but another strong feeling was telling me, nobody has to. Nobody has to include you in anything that they're doing. Nobody has to open up a door for you. Nobody has to do anything. And I remember thinking at the time with that same feeling of, oh, I'm being left behind to some degree. immediately the energy and the mindset washed over me. If you were supposed to be with them, you would be with them. If they were supposed to make space for you, they would have made space for you. If they wanted to wait for you, they would have waited for you. There's no getting around that. What is. And so when you can see the beauty in where you are and where you stand, and you don't feel that overwhelming sense of somebody's keeping something away from you, somebody's leaving you behind, or you're not getting the door open that you want open, or you don't have what you want to have, you creeping up with frustration, you're not able to figure out so clearly what's wrong and what moves to make, as in some seasons you very much so are. All you can do is stand. Keep doing your stuff. If yoga's your meditation, keep doing that. If your meditation's your meditation, keep doing that. If writing in your journals, your meditation, your way that you connect, do that. I grew up with pen and pencil. I don't connect with my words until I write them down with my hands. That's when they really flow through me. If I'm typing on a computer or using my phone, my words don't connect with me the same. When you're in that space where you can't do anything but stand still, don't force. Just stand still and know that whatever is supposed to be, and whatever is not is supposed to be. Because you are being set up, space is being cleared, doors are being opened, new connections are being made, new opportunities are forming. And for you feeling like you should be somewhere else, you're going to miss the small nuances. You're going to miss the intuition. And especially if you're talking too much, you're going to miss it. Especially if you're spending too much time telling other people your problems, telling other people what's not working, telling other people how you feel and what you're going to do and all this and what you plan on it and what's not right and all these sort of things we go through with other people. It's too noisy. You won't hear that small intuition ordering your steps, ordering your mindset, showing you the beauty in the most oddest, strangest of places. Because when you have those moments, nothing you could have forced, nobody you could have wrangled down to make wait for you or to make pay attention to you or to make give you something or whatever, none of what you would get from that would be as satisfying as those moments that the universe shows you and opens the doors and quietly whispers to you, and you know exactly what to do. You know exactly how to feel, and you know exactly where you're going and why you had to wait. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.